Hello? Hello, guys. Let's go wait for Cairo. Are you guys fine?
Welcome, ladies and gents, to another Friday live stream. How's everybody doing? I'm gonna scroll up a little bit. Give time, because as usual we love to wait a tiny bit so that people can tune in instead of just doing, jump straight on. Wonder if it's gonna be single player only. No, it's gonna be multiplayer. But currently the game is single player. So Mars already giving all the answers, so I don't really need to. We'll be dragons that have abilities like Toothless, like shooting plasma blasts. No. If you love How to Train a Dragon, this game won't have anything because we don't want to make it as How You Train a Dragon. Sorry about that. As always, remember that the sound that you're gonna hear in the background, the chirping sound, is my new bird. So you might hear chirping from time to time. Are you that animator that he talked about last Friday? Nope. Is there a new dragon coming? Probably. Will Jaren be a part of the stream? Well, if Jaren wants to jump in, he can. So it's just a matter of us to wait and see. Hopefully he can, hopefully he cannot. I think he works at this time. Okay. I'm sorry about that. I had to talk with my dad for a little bit. He needed something. So where were we? Models are expensive, so not until funding is good. Exactly. Mar Gaming is a part all of the plan. Days of Dragons was copying a lot of How to Train Your Dragons. Yes, they were. So the reason why there won't be any Toothless, there won't be any Plasma, it's like I said, I'm trying to make this as realistic as possible, but also use a little bit of fantasy so we can have fun. I want this to be 100% realistic, But at the same time, because it's a dragon game, it's fantasy, you can probably just do whatever you want. Adding a plasma ability on the realistic aspect, it won't fit our game. It will be nice, or maybe pretty cool to see, but it won't be. Almost like invisibility and stuff like that. What bird is it? My bird is a... My bird is a... Let me try and search it in English. It's a bird from Australia. It's a... It's a cockatiel. Cockatiel, something like that. Cockatiel. That's the bird. The name of the bird is Nami. It's a female. So you guys added the new weather effect, and I know that Jaren said that the clouds are global, but will have eventually be local or what? Hopefully we can do local. Hopefully we can do weather locally, as such as rain as also being locally, so that might incentivize people to kind of move away from the low temperatures. What kind of fire will dragon have? Like, I mean, is there breath, lightning, poison? Yes, there will be lightning, not soon, but there will be a fire, the typical fire, the typical probably poison, the breath, and there will be magma fire and stuff like that. Magma fire, so yeah. I was wondering if there will be any incentivized for exploration in the game, like kind of how Ark has explored nodes. So the motivation to the exploration will depend on the player, because depending on how we manage to do multiplayer, it would be wonderful to have 100 players playing at the same time with AI. But because we're gonna add AI, I think we gotta have to cut that in half. So 50 players is probably the goal instead of 100 players. But there will be ruins, there will be monuments, there will be stuff that you can kind of explore to try and puzzle all of the story or what happened there according to the lore that people are writing. And of course there will be places that you will probably want to go to get some benefits. It would be nice if you could get another dragon race. There will be the next dragon that I do want to implement, at least for multiplayer, because we're starting slow. And like I said, we don't really have the funding. So currently I am the only one basically paying the developers, the animators, the artists, the sound designers out of my own pocket. And Once we have the Patreon launched, you know, if we can, for multiplayer, I would love to add the European dragon, which some of you already saw a little concept art. And just keep in mind that I'm scrolling slowly through the comments. Well, this is my first dev stream that I ever watched. Twin Manicure. If you have any questions, just ask them. Will there be any related mechanics aside from seasons, like years? Years there won't be. Seasons would be nice to have, because the reason why I'm trying to bring seasons is to try and make it the atmosphere and environment feel real, because this will be a, you know, more of a focus on the Western European side. So here we have, you know, winter, also bless you. Here we have a lot of different types of seasons, so it would be nice to see seasons, because you will have castles, you will have villages, and it would be nice to see, you know, part of the map, or feel like the map has life itself and not just the traditional rain and clouds and clear skies and that's it. It would be nice to have different types of seasons where you would see snow piling up, and then you would see, you know, the leaf turning red, you know, for autumn. And then you come spring, but that will only come, you know, later on if things are manageable. Because also, if we can implement seasons, then I will implement a system where dragons can only reproduce at certain seasons. I wonder if they are planning on a herbivore dragon. It would be nice to change into the carnivore life and then really enjoy being the prey in Path of Titans. Herbivore dragons, we will have to think about that, but that's not really planned as of right now. So the flying system is going to be momentum and uses some aerodynamic physics. Now that's a question that can only be answered by Jaren, because he's the one that did the flying system. But currently you do have momentum, and you do have, you know, a variable in calculations when it comes to speed and etc. So that's a pretty good question that you need to ask him that. It would be nice to have a big dragon that says leaves or maybe things in the ground if you're nice to people, not so skillful. I don't understand Super Earth myth. What you asking about that? She's the bird, the cockatiel. She's still young. She has 1 month, so she's still almost like baby. Weather sparks up another question. Will there be aspects of flooding in different places, like valleys can flood and heavy rains? That would be pretty cool to have, but that won't be in the game. Tornadoes will be in the game, so it will be the world events disasters, so that will be planned. Tornadoes, so it will be also nice to lightning striking your dragon if you try to fly in the middle of the storm, so you would have a little chance of getting struck by lightning. Please make the poison dragon the herbivore dragon if you planned. All of the, like I said, all of the dragons and all of the, you know, wyverns, etc., they will be focused on real life folklore. We might have a few that can kind of be like subspecies, like a herbivore dragon, but a lot of them will be based on folklore, real folklore that it's written on books. Are you going to play the game, or I could play the game in a little bit because I'm just letting people join in so that, you know, people don't miss. Usually I do a segment where a few minutes is just music and, you know, Q&A, and then we can play a tiny bit, but there's not really much to play. Estimated how long will the seasons last? We don't know because we don't have seasons yet. Is the base dragon a dragon or a wyvern? It's a wyvern. The base dragon is a wyvern, but I call it as a general, you know, thing, dragons. So I know that a lot of people might say, oh, but it's a wyvern. Oh, it's a eastern dragon. It's a European. It's a drake. For me, they're all are part of the same family, which is the dragon family. Because if we start a debate, then people that watch Game of Thrones and House of Dragons, you know, shouldn't really be happy because they are wyverns and not really dragons, and people call them dragons. But it's a wyvern, and then we're gonna have a four-limb eastern, or in this case western dragon. Will there be stuff like droughts? Yes. I do intend on having droughts. Or at least make the ability for ponds to dry out. We'll be able to hatch other players as dragons. Yes, we do intend on having a birth system. Although Jar is not really a fan of it, we will have that, but only later on in the project. Well, there won't be any herbivore dragons. There will be herbivore AIs. So you will have a lot of time and stuff to do PvE wise, so that you don't go straight to hunting dragons. If there exists in the folklore a herbivore dragon, we can implement that, but if there's no evidence or even anything that talks about an herbivore dragon, then I won't really add it. Jam is not a fan of the birth system because, I don't know. I do understand his point of view, but birthing is something that people like, and as a content creator myself, I usually, we talked about this the other dev stream, but I usually say that the reason why sometimes these games have a lot of views, a lot of people watching and enjoying, it's because of role playing and storytelling. If you see games like that who has potential to do storytelling, cinematic stuff, people will love to make content, especially, you know, bigger and smaller YouTubers. The reason why I don't really see a lot of people playing Path of Titans and making almost like a story based is because Path of Titans is just a game that is focused on PvP. That's it. Now the Isle is a game that you can do a storytelling, a role playing. But I'm not saying that you cannot do that in Path of Titans. You just need to go into a realistic server. there won't be any humans in the game. You will have villages, you will have forts, you will have castles, you probably will have a few battleships on the sea, you know, a few battle grounds and stuff like that. Few bones and remains of dragons and a few other things that are hidden that you guys need to kind of search if you wanna. How will the growth mechanic work, like growth stage wise? It will be according to your system diet. We're still planning on that, but we want to make a system where if you move a lot, if you fly a lot, you will kind of get almost benefits from that. So you can kind of call it like a skill tree. So if you fly a lot, then you will get, like, I don't know, maybe a few XP so that you can level up your flying skills and max it out. That's it. That's to avoid people just spawning in, staying inside of a bush, and that's it. But we still have to debate that. How long will the growing take? Probably 1 hour. 1 hour to 2 hours, depending on the dragon. And that's with the diet system. I do apologize if you guys can hear me, but I'm eating dinner because it's 11 p.m. What type of dragon will there be? Hydra will not be in the game, but we can make it as probably like an event later on. Make an event that you can kind of try and kill a Hydra, but it will be an NPC. But don't quote me on that. Drake is planned. Ampharit? I don't know how to pronounce that, but I think it's also planned. Oh, let me get the name so I can actually tell them right. So, a wyvern will be in the game. A basilisk will be in the game. The Western or European dragon will be in the game. A Worm, which is the snake type dragon, will also be in the game. Arctic dragon will be in the game. Asian dragon will be in the game. Sea orc will be in the game. Ampher will also be in the game. That will be it. But each and one will be unique in its own way, so. Will there be other folklore creatures that will interact with other dragons? Not at this stage. I wonder if the wyvern will be able to climb walls. So the wyvern, the idea about the wyvern is that he will be able to grab walls, and you can kind of grab a wall or let's say a side of a mountain. You can kind of grab it and you can kind of just stay there and kind of rest a little bit if you need to rest. You know, take a look at your surroundings while you're grabbing the wall and then just fly back. Now the dragon itself, he will be able to kind of climb walls because he has 4 limbs. Will the big dragon just take 2 hours to grow? Probably, because you will have the ancient or elder stage, so that will take a little bit more time to grow. Because I don't want people to just stay there and kinda wait 4 hours to grow your you know, dragon and then you die because of stupid stuff. Crossbreeding, although it's a good idea, it won't be a thing. Although Jar wants to have the possibility of you grouping up with other different types of dragon, I am against it because on how problematic things can get. But we might add a option in the future for community servers to add this option if they want to kind of make a drake and a wyvern be in the same group. Hello Mama Dibble. Hello Slimy. How would it start? Well, you just have to get into adulthood, find a female. If you're a male, then do like a courtship dance, and then you have to build the nest, or you have to build the nest first, and then do the courtship, and then you know the dragon will lay her eggs. Then she needs to take care of their eggs and incubate them, and yada yada yada. If you don't take care of the eggs properly, they will just die, so we have to restart all over again. And I will add a temporary, like a cooldown, so that you guys cannot really reproduce in the mass, and you won't be able to kind of reproduce with your own brothers and siblings. So if there will be nest, there will be female, male, and female. Yes. I'm also thinking about the possibility of having females that can lay their own eggs without the need of a man or a male. But that will be, you know, something to think about later on. We're going to add a dragon, have lightning breath. Will he charge his breath faster if he got struck by lightning or something? So the idea of having dragons with lightning, he won't be able to kind of breed lightning. He'll probably behave like an electric eel. So if you bite something or if you get hit by something, you will kind of paralyze your prey. You won't be able to kind of just throw lightning off your mouth. So will there be packs or flocks of dragons? If are you saying packs and flocks of AI dragons, or are you talking about player dragons? Something like that. Male and female might look just identical. It only changes the sex, basically. Female might be bigger than the male. So don't you think that would offer opportunity for weird people? So would it only be AI? You have to remind me what you're talking about, Mar. The reason why I say courtship, it's because in real life, animals do courtship dances to try and captivate their females. So just like I said, the reason why I say will be realistic, it's because it will be based on two factors. If you know that thing, behavior, ability exists in the real world, and second is if it makes sense. Because let's talk about the spitting lightning. Is there a animal in real life that can spit lightning? I don't think so. How could we make it so that dragon could spit lightning? Could he absorb and then just do like a discharge? Don't know. Could he absorb lightning and then make it so if you touch his body or if he bites you, then you get paralyzed because of the light? It's plausible. Let's say you have a little Sally playing the game and some 3-year-old dude and having an in-game courtship together. That's not good. Well, it's a game. Like, not really like the guy is talking to the person. It's a game. You need to kind of understand that this is a game. It's the same thing on the topic of adding genitalia to animals. That thing is almost like a very sensitive topic. The game will be played by everybody. You might have people from 40 years old that play, people with 30, people with 18, 15. The game will be probably rated as, you know, above 17. Preferably, yeah. Because I do intend on probably adding a little bit of dismembering, a little bit of gore. So for the sensitive people, 17 should be a good appropriate age. But that doesn't stop people from buying it at the age of 14 or 15. It's like the same thing on buying GTA, when you were a little boy. For the gore part, we will try and add at least a option to kind of, disable the gore for the young people, the sensitive people. Because as we try and go for the consoles, we have to keep in mind that consoles also have their own politics, so I don't know if they will allow gore into the consoles. See you later, Mar. Now, a few things that I will show for you guys is the animations, because we're still having a lot of problem on finding people that can make dragon animations. We had one person that came in, sounded pretty good, resume was pretty clean, she did a lot of dragon animations. Most of them were dragons from the How to Train Your Dragon, and the next day she decided to not do the commission, and it is what it is. Don't know why, don't really know the reason why, but she decided not to do the commission. And now I have another one that he's currently doing the animations, because the only reason why we haven't updated the prototype, it's because of the animations. We are just getting delayed because of animations, because Jar wants to kind of give you guys a proper gameplay with good animations at least, and me also. Where will you release the game? Probably on Steam. Because I don't want to be like these types of games where when they start making a game, they just go straight to Steam and put everything on Steam. Once we start to work on multiplayer, then that's when I'm gonna put, the game on Steam. So right here you guys will see that this is the animations that are coming up. They still need a few improvements, and the person that is making these animations, he wants, you know, feedback. So if you do have feedback on the animations, you know, you can put them on the Discord, or even open a topic on our Discord channel about the animations, because there will be coming 5 animations. One will be the drinking animation, and then we're gonna have the flying animation, which still needs a little bit of a polishing, and also the drink animation. So these are the 2 animations that he kind of did, and he decided to show us. But there's still a few things that he needs to kind of tweak and do. We'll have to see if it's gonna be low gore, because the gore will all probably only be applied for AI and not for the other player dragons. So if we plan on putting on Steam and Epic, only on Steam. The wings are a little bit stiff, because I do think that the wings, I had to kind of remake the rig for this model, and the wings itself, they don't really give that flapping ability, and right here where it does like this V, it looks pretty stiff. So hopefully we can have a little bit more of a flying improvement. But the loop, I do have to say that it looks pretty cool. Yes, I did send him some bat reference to try and see if he can kind of like do it. But hopefully he will be able to do that, manage to improve those animations. Cause I send them this video of a bat.
Unlike planes, bats' wings are never flat. They're constantly changing and adjusting their shape. Because these aren't really wings, they're hands. And like us, bats can flex and bend their fingers independently, giving them fingertip control in the air.
So that's basically the video that I've sent. If you can improve, because it will only be, you know, trial and error, because it's really hard to find somebody who knows how to make dragon animations, and it's, you know, somebody who doesn't charge you almost 200 for one animation. So we will try and have our fingers crossed. Give me a few seconds. The big issue that we are currently facing is just animations. I do have to. Oh, however, grab this. Put this right here. I have to go because for some reason it logged out of my Epic account. Not everybody will do, you know, stuff for free or just to try and help, you know. My experience when it comes to freelancers and try to find people to work on the project is a lot of people want to work on a project, a lot of people are hyped, but when it comes to actually do the work, they kind of just either don't do it or they just, you know, disappear out of nowhere. Because a lot of this currently is, like I said, it is only animations. We are just getting drawback because of animations. There's like the coding part. Jaren has been doing a fantastic job. He's been working. If we had the animations, we could speed this process 10 times faster. No paras. Me too. I was learning Blender and then I gave up. Now look at me. Don't get me wrong, there are people who do animations who are looking for jobs, but there are people who, if you're gonna make a dragon survival game, do you not want somebody who has experience on making creature animations instead of humans? Wait, I don't really need to do like this. I can just go over here. Close this, open this, and voila. Procedural animations. That's what we are working on. A lot of these animations that you see are procedural animations done by Jaren. So he actually is going to do all of the animations when it comes to Blender. We just need, you know, a animation. Because for example, the walk doesn't really look as great. So we need a walking animation that kind of fits the whole wyvern vibe. We need also a drinking animation, as you guys saw, because currently it's just a bite animation. Thank you very much, Fluffy Cupcake. So this is just a test when it comes to the when it comes to the weather. Okay. So when it comes to the weather system, as you can see over there, there is snow. This is a placeholder. This model is a placeholder. This was the only model that I could kind of find it and use it as a placeholder because of how it looks. We do intend on having our own models. That's why we only have one dragon currently. Hopefully our second dragon will be made by a 3D modeler, which is the European dragon. So currently it needs a little bit of IK, and there are different types of weather. So up there you will see that there's snow, so we will be able to kind of put snow on top of mountains, and you can kind of go over here, but if you go over to the snow, you can kind of see that my bird just flew on. So the idea is when you're trying to go up into a big mountain that has, you know, the snow, you will probably encounter, you know, blizzard storms and stuff like that. And you can see that the time is just flying by. So the weather effects and the weather stuff was going to be in Milestone 3, which is going to be the Patreon stuff, but we might add this so people can test it out probably. And the sky itself will be higher up. It won't be really this close to the ground. You will kind of be able to fly above the clouds, but it will take you a little bit to reach a certain point because currently the clouds are lower. So there will be mountains that will be covered with clouds, hopefully. Will I be able to use the European dragon concept as a reference? Sure, if you can. So we have to dive in. And there are still little bugs like these ones. You can go above the rain. As you can see, pretty cool asset. But just make sure to give, you know, a credit on our game if you're gonna use the concept art. So as of right now, we don't have the sprint fly, which will be added. A few bugs will also be fixed by Jaren himself. So some of these things that I'm currently showing you guys will probably be locked on Patreon. Just a matter of kinda wait and see how you want to approach it, because we do want to give a few benefits for people who support the game early on. And I think there might be a Aurora Borealis somewhere around here. I'm not really sure. Also, the head aim system will probably adjust. But overall, it's just a matter of us trying and, of course, playing with the configs to make it look much better. As you can see that the time is passing pretty fast. Yes, I know. Is there a timeline for you guys to want to have the demo out? We want to have, at least I want to have the demo out at least, little rainbow over there, at least when we have the Steam page available and kind of playable single player or even multiplayer. Do certain dragons get benefits on the season? That is a very good question. We do have to kind of wait and see. Because I'm more looking at this as a medieval era feeling, so it needs to give you the feeling that you're playing on a medieval era, so it will have a little bit of a dark themed, and you will see castles and stuff like that. So adding seasons would add more to the realism of in real life stuff. Because after all, I do want to have also a gorgeous game where you can have the feeling that you're playing on the medieval era. And also sorry about that, I gotta take care of the bird. She's just flying around. But overall, I also wanted to have the destructibility so that you can kind of destruct a few portion of the, you know, structure, like the castles and fortress and maybe ships, you know, with your fire. And seasons would give the game itself a pretty cool ambience, which is what I'm trying to accomplish, is to have almost of a cinematic but also pretty smooth and pretty realistic vibe. So that will basically be it.
Kiss.
So that basically will be it for this dev live stream. So we have the weather effect. We probably gonna follow up this with a Patreon, and we also redid the milestone 3 and 4. So we have to kind of see what we're gonna add, so that people can enjoy and, you know, kind of support the game and stuff like that. We also have the scent system that we also be worked on. And then we have the status and a few other stuff that is being worked on, or it's already in plan for you guys to might try out. So, as of right now, this is the current state. Keep an eye out for our Patreon, and hopefully in a few days or maybe next week we are going to have the animations working properly and have it all set up and ready for you guys to play it for free on our Discord. And if you guys want to, just make sure to do exclamation Discord to join our Discord, you know, and the bot will give you guys the link. As always, I do thank all of you for the support, all of you for the questions. If you do have any questions, you can ask on the Discord. If you do want to support, there is a link below for the PayPal, but you don't really need to. It's not really obligated, but it would help a ton of the development. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next dev live stream, which is Friday at the same time as this one. And hopefully by then you guys will already be able to play the prototype and have a little bit of fun. Take care and have a good weekend.